Hey, you guys, good morning. And I am Shannon. Do not mind my blue and my green screen conflicting with each other. So, apparently, this blue shirt that I'm wearing, as you can kind of see, it's picking up on the blue screen or the green screen. It doesn't know if it wants to be a green screen or a blue screen. But I told it specifically that I had a green screen, and let's see what the blue does. Okay, the blue puts all the prints and things on me. All right. And the green basically puts it back up here, but it's still kind of picking up. But let's move on. Today we're talking about how to be a great friend. This is Women in Alignment Wednesdays, and we're talking about just being a good friend, how to be a good friend. How many of you have really good friends that you really, really like, and they are considered your best friend? We all have, at some point, have had a best friend. Younger, as we were younger, and then as we've gotten older, we have someone who we confide in, someone who we know will be there for us, and regardless of what capacity that would be, but they're there. And when we're being in alignment and aligning ourselves, as we were speaking today on Women in Alignment, is we're talking about that connection that women will have with each other. That is pretty much an unbreakable bond when you're together. You have sisters who are really, really great friends, are connected. Those are the ones who you go to and share all your secrets or your stories, or they are part of your stories, or you have a friend, someone that's not related, that is and has become your friend, and you can talk to them about things, and that's where it will be, and that's where it would lay. So when we're talking about, again, being in alignment, these are things that you do want to consider, as far as how are you a great friend? How are you a good friend? And there's usually some areas that you can focus on being a good friend, on how you establish that relationship in the first place. Because you didn't start out being great friends. You probably started out just getting to know each other and hanging out or being around other people who were like together, and you just could made a connection with that person, that everywhere they popped up, you were. And as time gone on, you have, done things together, and came to each other's houses, and then you've just developed a connection with them. As time goes on, just the same as trusting, there's a know, like, and trust factor that takes place even with someone who was your best friend, and it takes some time. There may be some areas of times where things got a little shaky and interesting, but you usually, kind of humbled yourselves back and came back together and became good friends. So when we talk about being in alignment, we talked always about, a SWOT analysis and strengths and weaknesses, opportunities and threats. And we look at that in relationship with a good friend is, what are your strengths? What are her strengths? And if it happens to be a guy, then what are their strengths too? And you both know what each other is good at, you know what each other is strong at, and you develop a relationship with each other. But you also develop a trust, because you can trust them with those strengths or those weaknesses, and they don't take advantage of them in either way. So when you are planning and thinking about, you're trying to go and meet new friends and meet new people, there is some things that you need to consider. And you do want to consider, you know, does this person make you better? Does this person make you thrive? Do this person actually, brings it to you straight and, let you know without necessarily, just gouging you out and, and hurting your feelings about it. Some of you guys have this statement of keeping it real, as you say, and keeping it real with your friends, regardless of how brutal or how untactful it could be. Well, that's not being a friend. That's not it. That's, no one said being a friend is tearing someone down and making them feel like crap. And that's not what you want to do, but you do want to tell it to them. You do want to bring it to them and let them know, because there's still a line of decency and respect that you should have when you are befriending someone and you're befriending them and you're being their friend. Being a good friend doesn't tear down, it lifts up, but it also corrects. And those are things that you want to look at. When you look at the SWOT analysis, you look at the strengths and the weaknesses. The weaknesses is that you know what it is your friend's weakness is, but you don't use that to your benefit to hurt them. You don't bring them down with it. You want to build them up using their weaknesses. And how do you do that? You probably say, you do that by reassuring them, putting them and giving them just the same as any business, giving them like manageable steps so that they can get better at it, giving them and supporting them with manageable things that they can step a little closer or reach a little further. And that's what you want to be able to do. Now, no one said that they have to be masters, and we have this again, unfortunately, a slave and poverty mentality that we have to master things and we have to be perfect because no one is perfect. And, that's more of a white supremacist type of indie ideology. And we're not that. And but no one said that you had to be, messy or, not proficient. You definitely want to do your best as it's what says excellence. You want to be as excellent as you can, doing the best that you have in what you know. But you also want to look at growing and learning and finding things that you can do that will feed into you and pour into yourself. So when we talk about being in alignment and how to be a good friend, these are things that you want to consider and you want to bring to the forefront as you are developing a relationship with, your friends. And so with that, I'll leave you guys with that. Hopefully, you were able to attain some information that made sense, or maybe confirm something that you were working on with a friend or getting to know someone. But as we going to leave with that is that you also have to understand you have to be truthful. You have to definitely be authentic. So, good evening, good morning, and I'll see you guys later on this evening for Women in Alignment After Dark.